Welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you here. In the previous video, or in one of the videos that I did here on the channel early on, I talked about a really simple tried and tested method that I rely on to propagate the money plant, and this propagation method can be used for all kinds of indoor plants. It's super fast, it's super easy, and I'm going to talk about a couple of different techniques that I do and a couple of add-ons. They're optional, of course, but they're really going to help speed the rooting and the propagation method. So propagating a money plant from stem cuttings in water is what I do, and it is one of the easiest ways to grow new plants. In this video, I'm going to talk about some troubleshooting, some step-by-step, my own personal experience in doing so. I will also link the original video in the description box below. I think it was a short, and it got quite a lot of views for that, so most of the audience I think I have came from that video. So let's just get started. For now, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, click on the subscribe button, click on the bell icon in order to be informed on all our new videos. Now, here's what I do. I start by selecting a healthy stem cutting. So I go on, have a look at my plant, whether it's a pothos plant, whether it's a money plant. In this case, it's a money plant. So I'm going to go and choose a healthy mature vine with at least 3 to 4 leaves and visible nodes. Nodes are basically the small bumps where the leaves and the root grow. Then I'm going to use a clean, sterilized and sharp scissors to cut around 4 to 6 inch section just below the node, because that's where the roots are going to grow from, the nodes. Then I'm going to fill a glass jar or a container with clean, filtered or dechlorinated water. Now, you can use tap water, but you can't use it straight away. It needs to be tap water that's left out for 24 hours, because that would work in this case. Then you're going to submerge only the nodes in the water while leaving the leaves above. Now, what can you add to the water to help with speeding up the rooting process? To speed up the rooting process, this is what I personally add. Not all the time, but sometimes I do. So sometimes I add rooting hormone powder, which is optional. So I dip the cut end in rooting hormone before placing in the water. So what that does is it contains auxins, which is growth hormones that encourage root development. Another thing that you can add, which I personally have not yet tried, and I would love to try that when I get the chance, is aspirin, in brackets salicylic acid. So what you're going to go and do, you're going to crush a quarter of a tablet into the water to really help stimulate root growth and prevent bacterial infections. Another thing that you can try to add is honey, because honey is a natural rooting agent and antibacterial as well. So you can mix a few drops of raw honey in the water. I just usually have Manuka honey on the side because I use it for a lot of the immune boosting qualities. So I just add a little bit in the water, and it acts as a mild rooting hormone, and it really protects the cutting from rot. Another thing is willow water, if you've heard of it. So willow water is a natural rooting hormone, or it contains that rooting hormone that's natural. So you can soak willow tree branches in water overnight and use this as your propagation water. So that's if you have access to the willow tree, because willow bark contains salicylic acid and it contains IBA, both of which promote faster root growth. Another thing is a drop of liquid fertilizer. Now, you can only add it after 2 weeks, so using a very diluted organic fertilizer after the roots start forming, after the primary roots start forming. And what that does is it really helps the cuttings become healthy and become strong before transplanting them into the soil. So what I did is I just used a little bit of rooting hormone powder in some cases, but with this one that you see right over here, I just simply cut the healthy money plant cutting and I just added it with the pothos cutting. So why did I choose pothos out of all plants? So adding pothos cuttings alongside the money plant cuttings in the same jar really helps, because it helps it to root easily. So it helps for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, pothos releases natural rooting hormones like auxins into the water, which then again will encourage faster root development in the money plant. Another reason for that is that it prevents bacterial growth, because since pothos has antibacterial properties, it will help to keep the water cleaner. Now, I've tried this method again and again, and the results are absolutely fabulous, they're guaranteed. Now you're going to place the jar in the right environment. Well, by the right environment, I mean indirect light is best, so keep the jar in bright indirect sunlight, like near a window, but away from direct sun. And you're going to change that water every 3 to 4 days to prevent bacteria and algae growth as well. So when can you transfer it to soil? So at this stage, I'm not going to transfer it to soil, although the primary mini roots have started showing after about a week or so. Once the roots reach around 2 to 3 inches long, in about 2 to 4 weeks, then I'm going to transfer the cutting into a well-draining soil. You can water it slightly for the first week to really help it adjust to the new medium soil. So just a couple of things before we end the video. Always cut below the node for best rooting. Keep multiple cuttings together to encourage faster growth, and never let all the leaves sit in the water, because it's going to make the whole thing rot and fail. So this method, it ensures faster and healthier root development, so your money plant thrives. And you can also apply it for any other indoor plant as well, using the same method that I talked about. Let me know if you need any details. I'd love to hear from you. Take care and have a great day.